This is an SM Media production. Hi everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the Sit Down right here on SM Media. I'm Scott McPike and I'm very glad to be here again. This week we've got the Scottish lightweight boxing champion and he's going to be a future world champion, Calvin McCord. Calvin, welcome on the show, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Aye, not a problem, mate. Not a problem.
How you been, all right?
Aye, I'm doing all right. Aye, back training and that, so I'm doing good.
Buzzing. Terry Flanagan was your sparring partner last week. How was that?
Aye, that's different class. That was 2 weekends in a row. Sparring in Glasgow. First week, then I went down to Manchester to spar him last weekend, and both that shows you the levels of the game.
Puts his level weight as a different class.
Aye, different class, man. Pace never drops. Such a high tempo of training and stuff. Aye, it's different gravy, man. Really good.
Brilliant. Right, we'll give it a start. How you been doing through the coronavirus? I can imagine, I know for a fact you've been losing the plot over it.
Aye, it was a bit shy. I was meant to fight at the start. Well, when the first lockdown happened, I was meant to fight then.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got cancelled on the Wednesday. I'm sure it was a Wednesday night, and I was meant to fight on Saturday. So that was a bit of a kick in the teeth.
That was going to be Turnberry, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was going to be Turnberry, wasn't it?
I was headlining the show down at Turnberry. So that got cancelled 3 days before it, or 3 or 4 days before it. Again, 11 weeks hard training on, and then get cancelled. And then I was meant to be headlining their race course the 27th of June. Obviously, that never happened either. So a bit of a kick in the teeth.
What's been your kind of takeaway from it? Like, it's been unprecedented times, but we've been having to do things we're not used to. What's been your big takeaway?
I don't really know, man. I've just kind of dug into my training and stuff, and the first 5 weeks I was great. I stayed on the ball, and then there was a couple of weeks I just done bits and bobs here and there, but then I've been back in it for weeks now. I'm actually flying, man. I'm training hard, so
good. We'll get a wee start. Tell me a bit about your early life growing up. Me and you kind of grew up in the same area, so we kind of saw this kind of similar people. Just tell us a bit about your family life, where you grew up, and what your early life was like.
I grew up in Kincaston. Been there all my life. I never really done much as a way, and I was always boxing. Kind of started boxing when I was 7, so I boxed right through. Some would say you probably know much of your childhood, but it's something I love. So
definitely. Who were your kind of boxing heroes growing up?
Like when I was growing up, the ones I used to watch and like was like Ricky Hatton, Joe Kozagi. But if I was to tell you like my favourite boxer of all time would have to be somebody like Nigel Benn. Just somebody that's tough, hard and gritty, and I like that.
You can have that whole like class, like you'd Ben, Eubank, Watson, things like that. Did you kind of follow them? Like,
aye, well, I was a good bit before my time. But it's the only fights I watch. So unless there's somebody up and coming that I'm right into, like I'll watch them. But other than that, I prefer all the older stuff.
Mm-hmm. And about as well as that, like, Ben and well, as well as that, what kind of school did you go to? What was the?
I went to Kincaston Primary, and then I went to Belmont Academy. So
how did you go on at school?
Aye, not bad. I was never in any bother. I left at the end of 4th year. Went to college for a year, and then got an apprenticeship as a spark at East Ayrshire Council, and I've been there ever since.
Good, mate. So, what kind of subjects were you good at school?
I don't really get what's the PE is like PE and techie and stuff. I wasn't too bad at maths either, but that's probably about it.
And what was the plan leaving school to be an electrician?
No, I actually wanted to be a car mechanic for years.
Did you?
I've always been mad about my cars and motorbikes and stuff, so I wanted to be a car mechanic, and then I went to college for a year. The year I went to college, it was a car mechanic course I done, and then applied for the jobs at East Ayrshire Council, and I'd got an interview for 3 of them. I got an interview to be a plumber, a joiner, and a spark.
Right.
And I got the spark job. So
nice. So when you were kind of leaving school, as you say, like you kind of went on to do an electrician course. How did you adapt to kind of leaving school? Like, I guess you left school quite young, didn't you?
I left school at 15. It was actually great because I went into a job that made kind of pretty decent money. I was 16-year-old making decent money. A lot of my pals still only working in that yet, so it was kind of always it was quite decent because I had a wage coming in all the time, and I'd come in for a young age, so I knew the value of you end to learn what the value of money actually is.
Definitely, aye, definitely. Aye. So like, and the kind of that was a big difference. You realise like kind of money was everything growing up then.
Aye, money is everything, isn't it?
Yeah,
Money
definitely,
talks. So.
Definitely. Talk about your kind of getting into boxing as well. Your brother was a boxer, wasn't he?
My big brother was a boxer first. He started. I think it was maybe about 6 months before me. And then me and my dad were taking him up to boxing, and I was always keen to start, and I was a bit too young to. Well, I thought I was a bit too young to start. I was only 7. And my boxing trainer Sam, the guy I'm still up and with him for a 7-year-old, Sam and Mackie. Sam just said, like, right, the young, you know what to start, and my dad says, oh, I thought he was just too young. He said, oh no, don't be daft, just bring him in, and then I've been there ever since. So
the same gym.
The same gym, aye.
Was that Doon Valley?
But aye, Doon Valley. It's like a right wee close family gym. Me, Sam, and Davey are. But aye, we're tight, so it's a class gym.
Do you think that kind of makes you feel good as well? Like the fact you've been a tight knit for so long, like now, like you've been through it all together.
Aye, absolutely, man. It's they're the best 2 coaches anybody could ask for. I'd never ever go away from them there. They've been there for the very start, and they'll be there to the very end.
Brilliant. Can I start your training? Like, how did you start? Like, did you pick it up straight away, or did it take time to get into getting where you want it to be?
I can't really remember. Obviously I started at 7. You weren't allowed to fight till you were 11, so.
Oh, right, okay.
It's changed now, but you're allowed to fight now in your 11th year, so you can fight in your 10, and then after January, if you're 10, you're allowed to fight in your 11th year, but you had to be 11, so I kind of lost out in a year for my age group. Like in the championships, you fought your full age. I was born in 1996. You fought all the boys born in 1996, so they all had a year before me, and I was only 11 in December, so they had nearly a full year fighting before I got in. But my first fight, I think I won the Scottish Novice Championships, and then I won my first 3 before I lost one, and then just kind of went through there.
Was that kicking the teeth losing your first fight?
I think it was. I can't really remember that either, but I'd been greeting anyway.
Yeah. When you went like your amateur career was actually really, really good. Like, I think you did somewhat 180 fights. Is that right?
No, about 159. No, about 110, 159.
110. And your first big tournament you won was the British Championship. Did you win the silver medal? Was it the first one?
Aye, when I was about 13, I went down to Wales, and fought a boy. It was a boy, Peter McGrail, an English boy,
right?
He's probably, for way back then to now, what he's doing. He's in the GB team now, and he's probably between him and another boy that beat me, Muhammad. That sounds crazy, boy Muhammad Ali, an English boy as well. Between them 2, that's probably the best boys that I've shared the ring with, other than being under Terry Flanagan. They two are world class as well.
Mm-hmm. Could you see that then that they were going to go on and
the one with no, like I can't really remember. Again, I was young with Peter McGrail, but I've watched him ever since. He's amazing, man. He's class. And then boy Muhammad Ali, he's great as well. He's really good. He's just come pro.
Has he?
So he's going to be a good one to watch as well.
Well, they're similar age to you, yeah?
Aye, both the same age as me.
Both the same age. Aye. So the British Championship, how many silver medals did you actually get?
I got 5. I went to the British final 5 times and get 5 silvers.
Never won it.
Sickening, man. That's the only gripe I've got as an amateur boxer. I never ever won a British title. But it'll be even better when I win a British title in the paid ranks. So.
And as well as that, the tournament in Finland you took part in, Just talk to us a bit about that, because I think that was. I remember you saying. I remember I met you when you were going to that, and you said this was the kind of big test.
That was my. I'm sure that was my first senior tournament. And I was going there. It used to be an Olympic qualifying event.
All right, okay.
But Ken, there was top boys at that. Your English boy Anthony Fowler, he was at that.
Right, okay.
He's a class act, man. He's good. So he was representing England at that. I can't remember what weight he was. I think he was 75 kilos. So, but there was a lot of top boys at that, and I walked away with a bronze medal at that.
Brilliant. It was a standard different class to what you'd been seen before.
I beat the boy from Finland, and then I get beat for a boy that was a Philippine. It was a Filipino, and he boxed for Norway. He beat me. He was good. He was a good boy. So it was my first test as well. First time I'm against like proper men. But it was good tournament, good experience to get. So.
Would you say that was your toughest fight as an amateur, or was it the British Championship?
No, I would say the British Championships have got to be the toughest, because you get a lot of pressure on you there.
Aye.
So I'd say they've got to be the toughest.
Who was the British Championships when you took part?
Where were they?
Yeah.
I fought in them twice down in Wales. Once in Cardiff, once in Swansea. Then the rest of the times were up in Scotland. The other three were up in Scotland.
And did you feel that added pressure because they were in Scotland? Like, obviously more folk watching you like knew who you were and things like that. Did you feel that added pressure?
Nah, no as such. Nah. Kind of getting into a fight, you're always a nervous wreck. So it's again, it doesn't matter what anybody says. If somebody tells you they're not nervous, they're a liar, or there's something wrong, because you should be nervous.
Mm-hmm. But and was there a lot of talk then about going pro as well? Like, were people telling you that you could go to a professional level?
No, I always seen it myself. But I never thought about it when I was younger. Obviously, something I wanted to go to the Commonwealth Games and stuff for the Scotland team, but all that kind of stuff fell through, and so I just eventually go to. I was about 18 and I was up in Glasgow. My promoter Sam Kinnock's gym, so I up there sparring and ended up talking to him about turning pro, and then I think when I was 20, I eventually turned. So.
Mm-hmm. And were you nervous about taking the big step up? Like, was it a massive step for where you'd been?
I wouldn't say so, no, because I was always a pro style fighter. The difference I would say is I added a lot more strength and conditioning work in. But I upped my training definitely. The training was more intense and stuff. You need to be more professional about it. But no, definitely it wasn't a massive change. I always trained hard and always wanted to put the best in. So.
And you saying there about Kinnock signing with them. Were they kind of vital to your early years, kind of coming through boxing?
No, I actually never knew him until I was about 18 or 19.
Right, okay.
A couple of boys for gym. No, wait, did they? I think one of the boys for gym signed with him. My boxing trainer, Sam and Marky, they both helped out at their shows, and then I don't actually know how it all came about. I can't really remember. But.
And how was the training different? You said there about strength and conditioning. Did you feel as if the intensity just went up from here to there?
Well, I done a bit of strength conditioning work and then I was running every morning, and then it led to I was going to CrossFit ULT.
All right, okay.
Training there as well, and my PT Nizzy, he does a lot of strength conditioning with me, and then I get all the work in with Sam and Marky, and they both work. They spend hours and hours and hours. They don't get enough credit for the work that they put in.
And do you think as well, just as you say, like you kept the two trainers you had all along? Were you actively saying that I want to keep them? Like, was folk telling you like go with somebody else or things like that? Were you?
No, I've never had anybody else tell me to go elsewhere. I wouldn't. It's no even if anybody did, I wouldn't be interested.
Brilliant.
They two guys, they're like family. They're family to me. They're like a second and third feather. Do you get what I mean? They're I see the guys actually more than I probably see my dad. But I stay with my father, and my father works with him. I see Sam and Marky nearly every day, so they're like another father.
Mm-hmm. And how did your family feel about the decision to turn pro?
Aye, they were all for it. It's
Really?
hard to believe. My mum and dad, well, my father's again, my dad's not so bad, but my mum actually loves watching me fighting. So,
Does she? Aye.
aye, she's not against all that, so she loves it.
That's good. And did they go and see a lot of amateur fights, or did?
I could probably count in one hand the amount of fights that they missed. They
Really?
were probably out of my 115, 110, 115 fights, they were guaranteed at least 100 of them.
Brilliant.
They never missed many. In fact, I'd say probably more. In fact, I could tell you they didn't go to one down in England, one in Scotland because they were on holiday, and then my two fights in Finland, they won at them.
Right.
And that's the only one that I can remember off the top of my head. That's 4. It's the only ones I can remember off the top of my head.
Brilliant. It's brilliant to have that support in it, like.
Aye, it's amazing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So talk about your first fight. Well, it was Naheem Chowdhury.
Aye, Naheem Chowdhury.
What was kind of what were you kind of thinking about him? Did you scout him before you saw him fight, or?
I didn't really. That's one thing I don't like to do. I don't like to watch anybody before I fight them.
Right, okay.
Both Sam and Mackie, they'll sit and watch people and look for things that they're doing wrong. And I just do what they tell me. I work in things they tell me. I'm not keen on watching folk, and in case I end up saying to myself, "Oh, this could be easier than what it should be," or saying to myself, "Oh no, man, what if he catches me with this?" Or I just do the things that they tell me. I don't want to I don't want to look past anybody. So,
obviously at a pro level as well, like that first impression is everything. Like, were you just determined to make that first impression and get a win on the board straight away?
Aye, well, I took a big crowd in that day, and I wanted to impress, so I went out and done what I had to do. So.
And did you see a difference, like the promotional side of it as well? Like that was going to be the way forward. Like
that makes a difference. Again, as an amateur, you don't sell any tickets. You don't.
Yeah.
The end to sell tickets. Nobody really comes to watch you. And you're fighting. As an amateur, I loved fighting in away shows because you had somebody else's crowd, and beating somebody in front of their own crowd was fantastic. So
was it?
That was great, man.
Aye.
Great.
So having that big kind of crowd, I remember a lot of folk went to the first fight. Was it Paisley, wasn't it?
Paisley Lagoon, aye.
Aye. Just talk us through the fight, how you kind of got on.
Well, I can mind that I'd run the first 3 rounds quite comfortable. And I can remember Sam saying to me, getting into the last round, them tell me just go out and enjoy yourself, go out and win the last round and enjoy it. Enjoy all these folk are here to watch you, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I went out and did and won it and won every round, and then just first victory, way to start the pro career.
Brilliant. And what was the kind of talk after that? Like, did you already have fights planned for after that, or?
Well, I think when was it? I was October, and I was set to fight, and I was 20. After that I was fighting on the 16th of December because it was 5 days after my 21st, so I never got a cake or nothing for my 21st.
Really?
I fought then, and then I can't remember who I fought. It's my second fight. You got it written down?
I've got it written down here. Alec Baza.
Oh, Alec Baza, Irish boy.
Yeah. And as well as that, I watched that fight. That fight's on YouTube. I watched that fight. Aye. And you had to change style. I remember you saying, like, I remember you done an interview after it, you said you had to adapt and change style. Like, what did you have to do?
Well, I went for the first fight against that Naheem Chowdhury. He was a back foot fighter. So it was just about cutting the ring off with him. Then, but you got Alec Baza. He was a come forward kind of scrappy fighter. So then I just had to push him back. I kind of boxed him for a bit, and then I started putting him on back foot and bossing him about the ropes and stuff. So.
And were you going for a knockout then, or were you just trying to just win the fight?
Nah, you don't. You shouldn't ever go for a knockout. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen. So,
yeah.
And they kind of boys, they're just like journeymen. They don't come and, like saying that Alec Baza comes and he gives a go, but like Naheem Chowdhury, he couldn't knock him out, man. He's so defensive all the time.
Would you say you're defensive, or are you aggressive?
No, I'm very aggressive. I would say, aye. Mm-hmm.
Even then, when you're just starting out?
Aye. Don't take a back step. Just walk for it all the time.
You won that fight again by unanimous decision in the 4th round. Obviously, you're just doing 4 rounds back then. Did you feel as if though you were growing into your own, just even after 2 fights, you were just, I'm picking up more and more each second?
Aye, well, I'd planned the day 2 of the 4 runners, and then it was going for there. We were going to jump straight into a 6, but in the January I'd done a ligament in my ankle. I'd done a grade 3 ligament damage in my ankle. It was like the 3rd of January. I was out running at Dam Park with C4 running team. I do running with them sometimes.
Yeah.
I was going down the wee steps onto the running track and went down on my right ankle, and I'd done a grade 3 ligament damage in my ankle. So I was out. I ended up being out for 14 and a half weeks.
Oh dear.
If I'd broke my ankle, I'd been back training within 4 to 6 weeks. But because I'd done the ligament, I was 14 and a half weeks. So.
Move on to the 3rd pro fight. You fought a guy called Christian Late.
Christian Late, aye.
Christian Late. He'd over 300 fights to his name, so he's a very, very experienced boxer.
Aye, he's probably the best journeyman in the country. I'd say he's probably. Did you
struggle with his experience?
Nah, not at all. Nah. He was just the same. He was kind of similar to Naheem Chowdhury, didn't want to mix it up much, and looked after himself, didn't get caught with many heavy shots and stuff. So.
Aye. So you had 3 fights. Won that again by unanimous decision. Christian Late, he was a journeyman. Jamie Quinn was the 4th fight. That went to that was a 6-round fight. How was the step up from 4 to 6?
Aye, that suited me. Because I had more time to sit down on my shots and work around somebody. Jamie Quinn, the last time he was out before the fight, me beat Thomas Dixon. So,
did
he? He wasn't coming for just a walk in the park. He was coming to win. And I ended up winning that 6. I won 6 rounds to nothing in that as well. I never lost a round in that. So.
Did you feel your speed and movement was progressing? Like, did you feel as if you were just getting better and better?
Aye, I just felt as if I was improving and moving up, moving by the 4-round stage into the 6-round stage, and so just want to get better and better. So.
How do you feel then as well, like the fact that you're fighting kind of quite regular? I think it was like 2 months a fight.
Aye.
Is that just to get more experience? Like, is that just?
Aye, they didn't want to rush me as when I was a young pro. So it was just getting fights in, getting the rounds in. So it's just try to get fights in and be busy, no staying at the ring too long. And
you took a following to every fight as well. Like, do you think the fact that you took so many folk just had an impact? Like, just because it felt like a home fight every fight.
Aye, every fight. Like, I always the 100+ people there, so the place was always going mad for every roaring my name and singing my name. So that kind of drives you on a bit, and you want to impress all them that spent a lot of folk spend their money to come and watch you, and it'll be a dear night out coming to the boxing again. So you want to impress them and give them a good night. See what they're after.
Aye, there's a boy that was fighting with you as well in your gym. Just remind me his name. He kind of started to tee. Was that his first fight as well that night?
Was that Chris Wood's first night?
Could have been. Aye, I think it was. Aye. What's he like as well? Does he kind of train with you all the time? Like?
Aye, Chris is great. Aye, he's a nice big guy. There's 4 pros in the gym. There's Chris Wood, Neil McCubbin. There's 5 now actually. There's Chris Wood, Neil McCubbin, Aaron McGarvey, Jay Carrigan, McFarlane, and then myself.
And he's all kind of show support to each other. Like, he's all giving each other advice.
Nah, if support you mean rip the piss at each other constantly, that's all we do. Absolutely rip into each other all the time.
But he's offering each other advice, like even then, like about to do and things like that.
I would say we did. I would say we all push each other on to work hard. So nobody gets left out to be slack or that. If somebody's no trained, no put in, they would be told. Nobody told as such, but driven on.
Your coaches keeping you grounded as well, like just. Because you won 4 fights in very little time, like, were they just telling you just keep your feet in the ground and things like that?
Aye, they're the same as me, they're learning, they learn our people, and as I learn our people, and they just always want to learn and improve me and help us pro boxers. They want the best for us, so they're just trying to improve us all the time.
Brilliant. 5th pro fight, we'll go on to Taka Bembia. The knockout finally came. It was a very, very quick knockout. How did it feel to get that?
Aye, that was good. I was the first person that kind of properly came and had a go with me. That's again, he came and tried to go to town a bit, and he went to town, and we both opened up, and I caught him over the top, and down he went. Aye, and then I think he got back up, and the ref wouldn't. He got back up, and his legs were just gone. The ref wouldn't let him continue. So,
what was it? What was it like? Was he tough? Was he tough? Was it a tough kind of knockout, or was it just?
It's hard to say if it was tough. I don't really know because it happened that quick.
Aye.
But I landed a few heavy shots, like body shots and stuff, and I was slipping his jab into my backhand. And I don't know if I hurt him with them, but I was definitely hurting him with body shots. And I don't know if they've sucked out him a bit, and he's thought I've been going to the body, and I've just threw a looping right hand over the top, caught him kind of up here, top of the head.
Right.
And then it's just rattled his brain, and he went down.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was only stoppage he's ever had. Again, I don't know. In fact, no, somebody stopped him just before me. Somebody stopped him in the 8th round. Another lightweight, I don't know who it was. He stopped him in the 8th round. But I knocked him in the first.
Mm-hmm. Right, we'll move on to the kind of big fight. I would say this was probably the fight that introduced you to the wider British scale. It was Marek Wazowski.
Aye.
There was a big promotion for this fight as well because it was going to be at Turnberry.
Aye.
Just kind of talk you through the lead up to that, like, because I just remember everywhere I went, it was all over the place. It was brilliant. It was brilliant because it was the promotion you needed. That it was the big fight you needed. Just talk you through the build up to that fight.
Aye, build up to that was absolutely terrible. I never had a good spar. I never trained great. I trained hard all the time, but just things were only working for me. Things were just not going right. I don't know. It was one of the fights that if it wasn't at Turnberry, it wouldn't have happened. Again, it was a really bad camp. Then went into the fight. What had happened? Oh, like I'd obviously done a ligament in my ankle before.
Yeah.
Before like in the January. So the January the year before, and then sparring 3.5 weeks before the fight with Marek, I went on my ankle again.
Did you?
And I got the ligament bruising again. So I had my ankle all strapped up for 4 weeks. Then went into the fight with an ankle brace on. I had an ankle brace on and I couldn't move my foot. So my right foot was clubbed to the ground, and it was just I just get through that fight. That was just sheer toughness and fitness that got me through that fight.
And were folk telling you not to do the fight, or were folk egging you on to?
No. I would never listen to what anybody says unless it was my two blokes, unless it was Sam and Marky saying, "Yeah, this fight's not happening." I'd go, right, fair enough. But other than that, nobody else has got an input into it, and they don't matter. So
that was for the Scottish title as well, wasn't it?
I was a Scottish lightweight title.
How big a step up was that to be finally competing for the national championship?
Aye, that was a big step up, especially you've only had 5 pro fights before that. You're still a novice in the pro game, and to jump into a fight like that, the amount of tickets I sold and the crowd I had there, and then the way the fight went about.
What's it like as a venue, like Turnberry? Like you go to Turnberry now, it's immaculate. But what's it like as a venue?
It was a class. It was actually great as a venue. You would never expect it to be with the big fancy chandeliers and that. You would never expect it to be a boxing venue, but it worked really good. And then they also didn't expect all the Concasting boys to be hanging off chandeliers and jumping tables, and they were all going mental. So.
So we'll talk through that. That was how many rounds was that? Was that 8?
That was a 10.
Was it 10? Yeah. You won it in the 8th round by knockout. Would you say it was going as planned? Was the fight going the kind of way you wanted it?
No. I went in the first round. Again, many folk were there. I think I had about 300 people there, 285 people, something like that.
Right.
But then obviously I was the main event, so every single person, there was 700 odd folk there watching me.
Mm-hmm.
Out in the first round, the place was going absolutely mental. Out in the first round, and he was a southpaw, and I went over his left foot. No, I went over his right foot with my left foot and went down.
Right.
There was no punches landed, nothing, and the ref started giving me a count. So I was like, "Fuck, what's going on here, man? Like, that's not even a knockdown." And then So that was a 10-8 round, and then out the second round chasing it, clipped to a hook, a right hook or a left hook, bombed down in my arse. I thought, oh no, man. So I was 2 rounds in, 4 rounds down. Again, that's 2 10-8 rounds.
Yeah.
I can remember at the end of the second round, walking back to my corner with Sam and Mackie, and my dad was standing right behind the post. And see the look in his face, I was thinking, oh no, I need to change this. Oh no, he's raging.
And does that make you go for the knockout? The fact that you're 4 rounds down after 2 rounds, technically.
No,
Are you calm in that regard? Like, do you still realise?
See the end of the second round, I expected to go back to the corner and Sam and Mackie to begin off their heat. Like, what the hell are you doing? But I didn't. I went back to the corner and Sam, they were both dead calm. I think because I was probably a bit worked up about it. I was thinking, oh no, man, what's going on? And they were both very calm, and they said, right, this needs to happen one round at a time here now. You need to go chip away, sound out. 1-3, come back to the end of 3. He's like, right, that's good, that's 1 back. Okay, we're only 3 down now. We're out 1-4. He's like, right, that's it, 2 rounds in it now. We're out 1-5 big. That 5 is one of my big 5 and 6, probably my biggest, but 1-5 big. Hurt him with a body shot in the 5th, and he spat his gum shield out for a rest.
Right.
So I knew from that moment forward he wasn't making the end of the fight. And I was like, he's not getting to the end of this. So I won 5, won 6. But after the 6, I come back and Sam and that told me, right, we're still 1 round down. We're still 1 down. But we were back even at that. And I went out 1-7. No, we went out 7 and dropped him a body shot at the end of the 7th. So that made me 2 up. And then dropped him again in the 8th, and he never made the standing 10 count. So
and that was that. You're champion.
And the place went absolutely mental. Drink gone everywhere.
Was it?
What a night, man. What a safe face, but what a night.
Brilliant. It was the first. It was, as you say, it was probably the first time. It was the first time you'd ever been like properly hit, like.
No first time properly been hit, but I've never been on the ground. I've never been put down. And for 2, the second one was a flash note. The first one wasn't a knockdown, man, that didn't. But the second one definitely was. My feet were square, got caught with a hook, half balance, and it was a nice shot. I wasn't hurt at any time or anything like that, but it was a knockdown again. But it's just these things happen. So I've showed that I can get back up after the canvas when something scary like that happens and come back to a class finish. So
How was it like as a fighter?
He was tough, man. Definitely tough. He used his head not a lot and rubbed like my eyes. My face was a mess. He cut my eye. And this eye there. My left eye was shut. My right eye was cut. He was rubbing his heat against my eyes and that. But I reckon now I would finish him so much quicker. Like,
think so.
This lockdown as well, I've been a completely different fighter. Like, see, like, so going in sparring Terry Flanagan and stuff, and I was doing a bit of sparring with my boy Craig McIntyre, who was fighting. Fighting down south last week or 2 weeks ago. Again, I've been sparring them boys, and I'm just getting better and better. This lockdown's probably, for my boxing style wise, this lockdown's probably done me the world of good.
Do you think it's been a blessing in disguise? Yeah.
I would say so. The only thing that's not been a blessing for is missing out in fights, but the things I've worked on in lockdown is showing and sparring, and I am looking really good, I would say.
Good. Right, we'll move on to your 7th pro fight. It was a guy called Ibra Riaz.
Yeah.
Talk us through that. It was another dominant display. I think you won every round. Did you feel pretty good after that?
I was alright. I had a couple of opponents pull out for that fight. I remember it was a bit of
aye.
I had a couple of opponents pull out, and then Ibra Riaz stepped in at 2 days. I'm sure it was 2 days notice.
Aye, I remember something about that, yeah.
No, I was like maybe the Tuesday, I think, 2 or 3 days notice anyway, he stepped in. Which was quite sickening because I had a couple of good fights lined up and we were doing tough fights, and he stepped in late notice and kind of changed everything because it was just a jump. Don't get me wrong, he was a tough journeyman. He came for a fight, but it was a good dominant display and set me up for a fight that we had planned after that. So
it was Sean Davis next, wasn't it?
Aye, it was Sean Davis. That was a good fight, man. He was tough. He boxed at the high. Well, he'd boxed at the highest level for an inway, so he was definitely he was a scary fight to go in against.
Mm-hmm. And you were going for 8-0. Like, obviously, you're unbeaten. Do you feel as if you'd lost a fight, like that was it? That there was, because that any boxer you see, like see once they lose their first fight, you can tell their just confidence just goes so far down to like. Is that in the back of your mind anytime you're fighting?
No, I don't ever think about losing. Like,
mm-hmm.
I get into every fight thinking and confident in myself that I'll be able to beat somebody. Like, confident in my ability, but you've got to kind of, if that happens, if you did get a defeat, you need to try and keep your confidence up and see what you've done wrong, or see if there's maybe a wee bit too much a step too soon. But the Sean Davis fight, that was a late notice calling as well. That was maybe the first defence of my Scottish title, and don't want to get into it, but boy put out 2 days before it, which was shite because it was 11 weeks of hard training with a made championship weight limit, and then he decides to put out 2 days before it. Again,
I remember you done the weigh-in, didn't you? Because I remember you.
I done the check weigh-in. For a title, you need to have a check weigh-in on a Wednesday night.
Right.
You're weighing in on a Friday, so I done my check weigh-in on a Wednesday night. He never turned up for the check weigh-in, which was a bit of a worry. And then I was going down to Tunbury in the Thursday afternoon for an interview with Des Harkin. And is it Des Harkin? No, it wasn't Des Harkin. Des Harkin was there, but it was with his, like, the photographer and that for Tunbury.
Yeah.
I was down there for an interview and stuff and getting spoke to and taking pictures and that. And I got a phone call. I was driving back home, got a phone call. He's pulled out, and I was like, "You're actually joking me, man. I've sold all my tickets for this event. It's happening in 2 days. Like, we're in the Mora and he's pulled out. Like, what's going to happen?"
Mm-hmm.
And then I was adamant as well that I wasn't fighting a journeyman. That was a defence of my first fight. I was like, I'm not fighting somebody that's crap. I'm not fighting a walk in the park. I want a fight. So they got me Sean Davis, and Sean Davis had boxed at British level. And
how different is that though? Like the fact you've only 2 days to prepare for somebody who's totally different. That must play in your mind.
Oh, it does. I definitely can. You start overthinking it and thinking what's going to happen here. I've trained for 11 weeks to fight this one person, and he's not turned up. Again,
do you feel less pressure as well? Like, not like less pressure. Maybe kind of worded that wrong, but the fact that you've not got an excuse if something goes wrong, but it's completely different. Like, if that makes sense. Like,
no, man, because I would still say I'm good enough to be able to get into the ring and adapt to change. Like,
yeah.
Even though I've trained for somebody, like, I've done the game for long enough now that I should be good enough to change and the opponent can, because you can't get into a fight expecting somebody to be the same as they were in the last fight. And you can't expect
exactly.
that. But so I should be able to get in there and change to whatever is in front of me. So I don't really mind it. But it was just sitting. That was because that was my first defence of my title, and then that happened. So.
Can you say was that one of your toughest pro fights? Like,
I would say it probably was. I would say, well, the Marek fight, Ken, that was tough for the fact that it went to the 8th round and the 2 knockdowns and all that. Ken, that's probably the most memorable fight. But toughest fight probably has got to be Sean Davis.
As well as that, I'll change gears for boxing because you've done something that I think is pretty good. You played for Celtic Legends against Rangers Legends, and was it Avon Meadow you played that?
No, it was the Buffs pack.
Was it Buffs? Right. Buffs. Who was in that team?
Well, for Celtic, you had Mark Wilson, Simon Donnelly, Craig Beattie, Paul Slane that does the open goal. He was in it. And you got a couple of famous actors in it and stuff. Trying to think who else. Massimo Donati, he was playing.
Was he playing?
He was still class, man. Well, he still plays professional, so he was great, man. Trying to think who else. No, but that was a good day out. And then in the Rangers team, you had Alex Ray and who's the other one? Kind of a few top players. Bob Malcolm was playing. The big preacher guy, what's his name? You him?
Marvin Andrews.
Marvin Andrews, he was playing. I can mind he was running after me at one time in the game, and I could feel the ground shaking. I was saying, "Get this ball away from me!" No, that was a classic.
How did that come about? Was that like, were you asked to do that, or?
I'm good pals with Craig Beattie.
Right.
And Craig was playing in it, and he told them that he knew me, and I think they had heard of me because I'd won the Scottish title and stuff, and they asked me to be a special guest and he'll come and play. So Craig phoned me, he's like, and then I said, Grado was playing as well.
Was he?
And he said, he's like, and I'm hopeless at football. I'm rubbish at football. He said, do you want to come and play? I said, well, I don't mind coming and watching. He said, but I'm not great at football, so I don't want to play.
No.
And he said, no, it's all right, you can just come on and play for 15 minutes. Grado plays anyway, and he's rubbish. So I was like, right, perfect, man, I will. I was like, I will play. I ended up going and playing 85 minutes. I was told I was playing 15, I played 85. So
was it just a buzz, like just playing with your kind of heroes?
I was good, man, because obviously I've been a Celtic fan as a wee boy, so
yeah.
I'm not overly fussed about football, but I like going to the Celtic games and that. Some today, and all my mates and that are Rangers fans, so they were buzzing it. We got absolutely hammered that day. We got pumped 5-2, so
Did you?
my pals were happy about that. But it was good to get and play with folk that like they've been at the kind of highest level of professional and their games, whereas I'm obviously a different sport, but it was still some buzz to be in with kind of professionals like
what
that.
Was a banter like in the dressing room before it?
It was funny. I would say more the end day it was better.
Right.
Because they were asking, they were just talking about where they play and stuff, and then where I was playing, I wanted to play, and I was like, I don't even play football. I was like, I'll play anywhere you want. And I ended up playing left wing.
Right.
Played left wing, and then I dipped in to play left back. But it was good, man. It was really good. I would do it. I wouldn't do it again, but I would go and watch it again.
Because you do it all the time. Like, it was pretty good. I remember when I saw it and you were on it, I was like, he'll not be able to last long in that. But 85 minutes is no bad.
I played. I was on for about the first 60, and then I got took off. And I played good, man. I never made any mistakes, and I just played the simple ball all the time. If I go to the ball, I played an easy pass, and never tried to do anything too fancy after it. And I got took off at 60. I think it was 65 minutes, and then somebody got injured, and he's like, I went for a pee, like at the toilet, and came back out, and I came back out like that. I need you to get back on. He's injured. I was like, great, man. So that was it. Back on to the end.
Brilliant. We'll move on to basically kind of the here and now. What was the plans before the coronavirus hit? Because I know you had a big fight planned.
I had a fight planned at Tunbury. I can't even remember. I was meant to fight for some sort of Celtic title. Then I don't know what. It changed the opponent. I can't even remember who I was meant to fight. And then, so my aim was to be as close to the top 10 in Britain by the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I'm sitting about 19 or 20 now, so I was wanting to be close to the top 10 within this year, but I don't think that's going to happen now.
When did you hear the fight was going to be cancelled?
It was either the Tuesday or the Wednesday night. I was fighting on a Saturday, and it was a Tuesday or the Wednesday night. So. And
did you see it coming, or was it still like the fight could go ahead? Like.
No, we were confident that it was going ahead. It was been told that it'll be happening. All the tickets not sold, it's going on. And then just got a phone call. I think it was the Tuesday at my work. It must have been the Tuesday at my work, and we just get told, no, it's not happening. It's getting cancelled.
And obviously you've done the training camp up until then. Like, is it just do you feel as if it's not a waste of time, but do you feel as if like I've done all this work and now where does it go?
Well, so you do all that work, and again you fight at the weekend, you get paid, and you make your money off it. And I don't make a great deal, I don't make a great deal of money off it, but you put a lot of money into your training camps and stuff, and then you get that money back as if it's a lump sum. As if you've been putting that money back, then you get it back, and then so all that money, and again, a lot of folk put money into me as well, like doing stuff for me and take me places, and to get no reward out of it, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. It's nobody's fault, it's not that it can be helped, but it's a bit of a shame.
Then you've got a couple of good sponsors as well. Say that again?
I said, it's a pity the show wasn't just a week earlier, it would have happened.
Exactly. I remember I was on holiday when I was I was coming back, and I was like, I'm going to try and get tickets, because I think a couple of my pals are trying to get tickets as well.
Aye.
and they were like, right, we're going to come, because I was meant to come back the day before you were fighting, and we get sent back a week early, and I was like, there's no way that fight's going to happen.
No.
Because it was just crazy. It's so bad.
Aye. It's murder, man. Absolute murder.
And you're saying there as well, do you, once that starts, because you don't know when your next fight's going to be, did you find a struggle to maintain your fitness at the start?
No, not really, man. I don't. I can always keep myself fit, so I don't really. I like training and kind of enjoy it, so it doesn't really fuss me. Can I keep me fit and stuff? So.
Have you got an idea? Have you got an idea when your next fight could be taking place, or is it still on there?
No, I've been told it could be. I've been told it could be the 24th of October, but whether that happens or not, no idea.
Do you think that's going to be with no fans?
No, it'll be fans. I'll not get any fights with no fans because you need televised events for that. Unless I get a fight on telly, like I get called into an Eddie Hearn show or a Frank Warren show again. But
is that the dream? Is that the dream to be like in that? And with kind of Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, is that the kind of the limit where you think you're going to?
I want to stay with Kinnock, but like if I get a chance to fight on one of the shows, that'd be class. Especially if I can get myself up to British level and in the mix with the top boys in Britain. I'm going to be in there. I'm going to be on the telly. So
it's that exposure as well. Like that, you see, like a lot of fighters get that exposure, and a lot of folk follow them. So it's brilliant to have. So as well as that, you said the kind of coronavirus was a blessing in disguise. Just talk us through what you meant by that.
Leading up to that fight, Tunbury, I was absolutely flying. I was ready to go, and we'd worked on a lot of things to put out in that fight. So then the first 5 weeks into lockdown, I just worked on all the same things, like all the things I've been working on leading into that fight. Then a couple of weeks I went, I never trained as hard as I should have. Kind of fell by the wayside a wee bit, and then so like maybe it probably wasn't even 2 weeks when then I get straight back into it, and I've been back hard at it ever since. And then as soon as I've been able to back in the gym, you can see all the stuff that I was working on before lockdown. You can see that I've been working on it through lockdown as well.
Yeah.
How we're taking it back into the ring and then taking it in with the boys sparring like Terry Flanagan stuff, and getting good reviews off him for sparring with him, and just see things that I've been working on is working for me and sparring.
Yeah, so. Brilliant. Did you notice a difference like training with somebody like that? He's fought at the top level. Just kind of talk us through that.
He's still world class. Like being in the ring with somebody like him. The first day I sparred him, I only done 4 rounds, and it was 4 flat out rounds. And then the second time I went and sparred him, I done 6 with him. And to get in 6 fresh rounds with somebody like him, to show you the level that you need to be to get to that high in the game, it's an eye opener, but it's like at the same time I've done really good. So
good.
So it's
good.
It's enjoyable.
Are you all right closing with some quick fire questions?
Aye.
Right. You spoke about your football. Your football is obviously Celtic. Celtic's your team. What's been kind of your memories following them? Like, there must be a few.
There's a few. I would say I would go for the best games that I've probably been at. I would say it's either got to be the 3 each Man City game,
right,
or beating Lazio. In fact, no, beating Lazio 2-1 that's the best game I've ever been at. That was absolutely crazy. Mm-hmm. The home game against Lazio was to beat everything.
Mm-hmm. Favourite player?
That's a hard one. You've got to say somebody like Henrik Larsson or something. Again, I like the new. Like I can't believe there's talks of him leaving, but I absolutely love Tom Logic. Again, I love him, man. But
he's a big game player, isn't he?
He's class.
He scares me every time he plays against Rangers. Like he's one guy I don't like in the park, but he's good.
He's a good player, man.
If I was to say to you, what would be your favourite fight to watch? Like if I just said like one fight that you could watch all the time, what would it be?
It would be. It's a 3-round fight. It's I think it was scheduled for 12, but I'd go to say it's Marvin Hagler versus Tommy Hearns.
Nah, it's that rivalry's class, isn't it?
That was a battle, so I would say that's my favourite to watch probably.
Mm-hmm. What's an interesting fact about yourself that nobody else knows?
I don't know. I enjoyed maths at school.
Did you?
That was a subject I enjoyed at school, man.
What did you enjoy about
I don't care. I think it was just quite good. Because I was no bad at it. It was alright.
that? Brilliant. What's your favourite film and TV show?
Oh, TV shows got to be still game. Favourite films. It's hard because I could tell you hundreds, man. Like I like car films and I like the Hangovers and stuff, like comedies.
Yeah.
I would say like either Days of Thunder or one of the Hangovers.
Brilliant. 3 famous people you would have dinner with that are dead or alive. Doesn't need to be boxers, it can be anybody.
Both. 3 famous. I'd say I would fling in like Mike Tyson's one.
Yeah.
Big Tyson Fury. I'd love to sit dinner with him. And
I just read his book, man. His stories are class. Like, see, just like, some of his stories. Like, you wouldn't think that. Like,
no, he's absolutely
mental. He's funny though.
And then the last one, I would say somebody like either Ricky Hatton or Joe Kozagi, one of them two.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. Dream opponent. Who would you love to step across the ring with?
Whoever's going to make me the most money. I don't know, man.
The top man's Lomachenko in your kind of weight class. Is he somebody you can admire? Like,
I don't watch much of him because he's got a freaky style that's a style you can't teach. Like, you'll never get. Nobody else can replicate what he does.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would fight him, but I'm not saying I would beat him, but I would happily fight him because it'd be a good fight day for me. So.
Brilliant, wouldn't it?
Aye.
That must be the dream, though. That must be where you want to be. Like, that's that level. That must be the.
Man, aye. I want to be at the top of the game, and again, I'm only young now, so
yeah. Again, you still get years in front of you as well. So like, that will come like that. You've got the talent, like.
Aye, loads of time.
So loads of time as well, and your promoters will be kind of trying to get that as well. Have your promoters been brilliant with you? Like, just.
Aye, they're great, man. They've everything's been going at a nice steady pace, and nothing jump too fast and too soon, and and everything gets spoke about. Nothing's behind my back or nothing like that, so everything's spoke about. So
brilliant. And favourite sparring partner? I think you've answered this.
Terry Flanagan.
Have you got any more planned with him? Or?
My boxing trainer was going to phone him last night to see if I could get down again next Saturday. And then we're going over to spar, over to Belfast to spar James Tennyson, who's just won the British title.
All right, okay.
But my promoter's been in touch with his promoter, and as soon as he's back in the gym for winning that title, we're going to spar him in Belfast. So
brilliant.
I want to know the top boys in the world, like not that we're saying the world, but all the top boys in the country that I can be in with. Because it's the only way I'm going to get better and improve all the time. So
yeah. And sparring's obviously just as important as actual competitive fights. Like, it's gaining that experience as well, isn't it?
Aye, sparring is a fight with big gloves on. That's what it is. Big gloves, a head guard. That's it. Sparring works out as a fight with all that stuff on. You don't get any easy in sparring. If somebody hurts you, they're going to take you out. So.
And are they tough on you? Are they tough as you think they're going to be?
Aye, definitely, man. Aye. Like I've been in with Terry, man. He lets you away with nothing. Any mistake you make, he punishes you for it.
No,
so,
okay.
It's the only way you can get better. So
definitely. Calvin, it's been absolutely brilliant to be on, mate. I'm buzzing for your next fight. I'll be there.
Brilliant.
All right. Thanks very much, mate. It's been great.
Right, cheers, bud. Thanks.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
Bye.